Ladies and gentlemen, this is a festival of freedom today. By the way, you guys are going to be, they're going to try to lure you down here into fights and scuffles. Let them fight with themselves. We fight right now with our words, with our presence, right here outside Downing Street. You are the rebellion. By the way, I'm standing right in front of the cenotaph right now, and it always fills me with dread about what might happen if we give up the rights of freeborn Englishmen, Scotsmen, Welshmen, Irishmen. These are our rights. These people died for those rights, and we respect them for that. God, there's just so many amazing flags here today. Obviously, we have our great Union flag, we have a UKIP flag, we have the Don't Tread on Me Gadsden flag, we have the Canadian flag, we have the gay rights flag, we have the Kekistani flag, we have the Israeli flag, we have the French flag, we have everything here of the free nations of the world defending freedom. We even have an EU flag. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Free speech, he's allowed to be pro-European Union, that's okay. He's wrong, but it's okay. By the way, how about Brexit? We are leaving! We are leaving! Alright guys, it's hot. You've stood out here a very long time. We're going to kick it off right now with your first speaker. We have Richard Inman. This guy who put his own life on the line for this country and for what this country represents. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Richard Inman.
Good afternoon, London. I've been looking at something that's been happening behind us, and I think somebody's just turned up the heat. It's a sunny day and the temperature's getting turned up politically as well, and that's why we're here. It's a song written several years ago, and I hope it's going to be sung later on today. The first line of that song said this: you've got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. We're not going to bite our tongues anymore. We're not going to be silenced anymore. See, we are the silent majority. And the people that tried to close us down earlier on, the people that tried to silence us, they are fascists because they hate freedom of speech, and we are patriots because we love freedom of speech. I walked down from Speaker's Corner. There were thousands of us there, and we had a banner, and our banner said this: we are here to defend your freedom of speech. And the DFLA and the Veterans Against Terrorism are here to defend your freedom of speech. And here we stand. We can do no other. I want to tell you a very quick story about freedom of speech. In Belfast a few years ago, there was a 78-year-old minister of religion, and he preached a sermon that was very critical of the Islamic religion. And in that sermon, this man said this. He said, Islam is heathen. He says Islam is satanic. He said Islam is a religion spawned in hell. Friends, that is freedom of speech, and that man had the right to say it. But for that sermon, that man was dragged before the courts. He was 78 years old. He was suffering from cancer, and his wife was suffering from dementia. Now, thankfully, he was found not guilty of the false hate crime that he was supposed to have preached. But you know something about that man? He stood his ground. He didn't bow, he didn't bend, he didn't surrender, and we mustn't surrender freedom of speech either! Friends, this is the first Freedom March, and I want to tell you something, it's going to be the first of many. 32 years ago I joined the British Army. Yes, I am that old. 32 years ago I joined the British Army, and when I joined the British Army, I joined to defend your rights to freedom. And all the colleagues did as well. But I didn't think that 32 years later I would be having to stand here and defend your freedom of speech again. Well, I am, and I want to tell you something. 32 years ago I would have died for freedom of speech. I am willing to die for freedom of speech today. And more than that, when I look into your faces, I see that you're willing to die for free speech as well. We have a motto in the veterans. It goes like this: if you're attacked by terrorists, you don't run, you don't hide, and you don't tell. You stand, you fight, and you protect. And today we're standing for freedom of speech. We're fighting for freedom of speech, and we're protecting freedom of speech. We will never be defeated. Thank you very much.
Free speech. It's a funny one. Oi, oi. We all want to be free to say what we want to say when we want to say it. But not everyone understands that. They don't realise it works both ways. You can't preach a way of life or an ideology and then cry about it when someone disagrees with you. You got to man up. I've been told to speak a bit closer. It's like whipping up a storm and then moaning when it rains. I don't agree with you. I'm a big wanker. And that ain't the way we roll. Now, we haven't got to agree on everything, and that's what makes it fun, disagreeing. How do you expect to spot a moron if you deny them their right to speak? It keeps the dickheads at bay. Just take Ali Dawah as a prime example. Yes, please. You just have a little look what political correctness is doing to the comedy scene, to the comedians. Look what it's done. It's killing it, stone dead. We can't even have a laugh anymore. In fear of offending someone. Comedians no longer know where to draw the line. Back in the day, there weren't a line. You could laugh and joke about what you liked. Sexuality, weight, race, you name it. If you found something funny to say about it, you could say it. Bear with me. It's my first time doing this shit. I quite like it! So we were free to say what we wanted to say back in the day without offending people, and then we had this generation of snowflakes come on board. The easily offended. The top-knot, skinny jean, tampon wearing, brigade of wet wipes, that pull the victim card to keep you quiet every single time the debate doesn't go their way. And as it stands, we are allowing it. I just want to be clear, right? It doesn't matter whether you're left, right, in the middle, or completely confused, like Diane Abbott. Yes! It's not about what wing you're on today. It's about collaborating and pulling together. Remembering we're on the same team and fighting for the same thing. The freedom of speech so we can say what we want to say. And I'm somewhere in the middle, believe it or not. You don't have to be right-wing to criticise militant Islam. You just need your moral compass in check and actually give a shit. And you also don't have to be afraid about speaking up against Islam. It's only a religion. So what? Most think it, few say it, because the social media giants, be it Twitter, Facebook and the rest of them, they're boxing us in, they're keeping us quiet, and they're leading us to believe that it's wrong to speak up against people's religions. In particular, the barbaric one. Now, I've been cracking jokes on social media for the last 3 years, and I have seen it firsthand. Not all jokes are good that I crack. One bad word about Islam and you're banned. Then they ban you again. I wonder if that helicopter's for me. And then after you've been banned twice, they deactivate your account. And here's the deal. We should be free to speak about religion. Any religion. I don't see Twitter pulling people's accounts for cracking Jesus jokes. I don't see Twitter banning people for lambasting Jehovah, Moses, or anyone else. But you say one bad word about Muhammad and they sit you on the naughty step for 7 days, then 30 days, and then they deactivate your account for life. People use those platforms to promote their business and earn a living. Freedom of speech. Where in the name of Muhammad's trousers has it gone? And why are all reverts ginger? Listen, there's other ways of getting back at your parents without making yourself look like a complete prick. You don't grow a great big beard down to your chest if you're ginger. No self-respecting ginger man does that. They wet shave and pretend they're blonde. Can you imagine what it'd be like working at Twitter HQ? And the boss tells you that you've got to deactivate somebody's account because they've criticised Islam the day after a terror attack. You think it was a practical joke, wouldn't you? You think Jeremy Beale was just about to pop out in a closet with a camera crew and put you on the telly? It's a world gone mad. If you speak up, and it's serious for a minute, if you speak up about radical behaviour and Muslims take offence to your words, too bad. That is the Muslims' problem, not yours. And if they don't like it, they can blame Islam. You can't be expected to be part of an ideology that promotes violence and not be challenged. It's as simple as that. And sure, there's a lot of peaceful verses and passages in the Quran, but there's a lot of hatred too. And here's the thing, you can't expect people to find it peaceful. Sorry. Here's an example. It's like saving 99 lives and murdering one, but wanting to be remembered as a lifesaver. It's not how it works. It's like making love to 99 women. Raping one, you don't get remembered as a peaceful romantic. You get remembered as a murdering rapist. Now, I'm well aware that I've disrespected Islam by associating them with ginger people. But I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm anti-Islam. I'll tell you why. I think a lot of Muslims are prisoners of Islam, captivated by that filthy cult. There must be loads of them. Think about it. Born into it, take the peaceful parts, ignore the rest, go about their day, ignore the rest. Now, are you telling me that there is not a woman right now in Dubai, sweltering in the midday sun, baking in her burqa, that doesn't want to whip it off, get her tits out and run along the beach? Of course there is. Everybody wants to get their tits out. And what about the gay Muslims? Woo! What about the gay Muslims? What about the gay Muslims that have to sit in silence in fear of what may happen to them? What about them? If a man wants to swing from dick to dick, he should be free to do so, regardless of his religion. But they can't, can they? Sleeping with a goat is fair game, but sleeping with another man that you love is a crime and punishable by death in some parts. Totally outrageous. They're not free to think, let alone speak. They are prisoners of Islam. But we're not. And we should be free to discuss it without fear of consequence. We should be free to discuss it without fear of losing your job. You shouldn't fear speaking about Islam in fear of being judged or being branded far right. What is that bollocks all about? Now let this sink in. How are we supposed to spread love if we're not allowed to oppose hate? Antifa. Oh! Have you seen them jockstraps today? They should be thanking us. They should be thanking us. Fancy claiming to be anti-fascist and storming a free speech event. That's not ironic, that's moronic. And freedom of speech works both ways, right? Life's about laughter, and who am I to take the cream out of someone's bun? If someone finds it funny to mock the short, fat, bald, ugly man, who am I to put their laughter before my offence? Now, I know, I've got a mirror, I know that I look like a scrotum, but I'm not going to start crying about it. And if I don't mind people mocking my scrotum, why should people mind me mocking their religion? It's my scrotum, ladies and gentlemen. And it's something we should all be free to do. Because let me tell you, no religion in the world is more important than my scrotum. On a final note, on a serious note, do not let fascism stand in the way of your freedom. Do not let false accusations of fascism prevent you from fighting for what's right. And do not let the slow creep of Islam become the scissors for your tongue. If you've got something to give, give it. If you've got something to do, do it. And if you've got something to say, then say it. And if the radicals and the far left don't like it, fuck them. Thank you, have a fucking lovely day.
Isn't Liam amazing?